Hi guys, welcome to Van Life with Minister Mary. Here's another video. This just popped in my head and I didn't want to waste time telling you. Well, first of all, her little friend is over there in the blankets and she has her little jacket on and that's what helps keep her warm. She doesn't like that jacket as much. I might change it, but at any rate, she likes her blue one. Yeah, my bed is not exactly made because I'm going to get in here. This is my heated blanket, so that's how I manage to stay warm. I know people are asking me all kinds of questions because I'm in Washington State and we've got this cold spell, and right now it's not too bad. It's actually raining as opposed to snowing. Hooray. So depends what part of Washington you're in though. So, and as you can see, there's my pillow. Like, I like the smaller pillows, and then I like the, oh, wait a minute, these little guys from Daiso. And because I move them around and I'll put them under my head or I'll double them up or whatever. But the other one, the brown one that's further over there, is from Daiso as well. And the dog likes that one. I bought it for me, but she likes it. It's actually to put your feet in there and keep them warm. But yeah. So what I'm going to do is get in here. Now, people started asking me, well, what do you wear? And it wasn't like a weird question, like, what do you wear to bed? It's just like, how do you keep warm? What do you wear? So I have leggings that are thicker. They're like more like a thermal type, but not even thermal. It's, again, I buy them at Daiso. They're thicker. It's like a woolly kind of inside the thing. Anyway, so I wear the leggings, and then I have two long sleeve shirts. Um, Again, almost like the thermal type. And I layer them because if I get hot, I can always take one off, and I have been lately because the heating blanket works. Now, as far as, here's my robe. I don't even know which end is which right now because I just plopped it down here. But, and I'll, put that on. So, but I have this robe with this fabric. So as you can see, I like this robe because if I can find it, good heavens, it's all twisted up. It has a hood. Here's the top. I actually got this at Ulta. So it has a hood. So that will be over my head because it protects my neck and also my head. So if you find a nice warm robe that has a hood, wear that. So that goes over those leggings and it goes over the long sleeve. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll heat this van. That's the back of the van, as you all know. I'll heat the van up. I'm going to slowly turn around and then I'm going to show you what I got here that's running, which, I'm going to just turn, yeah, not the fan. Anyway, so when you come more to the front, there's the eclipse, what they call the eclipse curtains, the light, so it doesn't go through. Anyway, so I pin them together in the middle, so it makes like a wall. There is my temperature gauge. We are now on 60, a solid 60. It's been staying 60. But what I will do is I'll heat the van up till about 80 degrees. I'll let it get to be about 80, 90 in here. I'll just run it and run it. I know it uses gas. I get that. But if it's, well, let's spend some more money on gas or let's freeze to death, let's spend some money on gas. So anyway, I run it to the point where it's 80 or 90. Then and I'm just showing you my pretty curtain. This goes all the way to the floor, but right now I fold it up at night. Kind of blocks more of the light too. Coming around this way, this was one of my mistakes. I would tell you not to do this. The curtain on that side, which blocks that door, should have been heavier. That's a sheer curtain. Of course, when I was putting this together, it was warm outside. So it was like, oh, it's hot. Let me do this. So if I want to look at those beautiful beach things and peek out, I will be able to see through this lightweight. Well, no. Right now, I would tell you use the width or the heaviness, the weight of a moving blanket, at least, if not a fuzzy wuzzy blanket. It's up there with clips on the rubber part that's inside. That is the tape that you know about that I've showed you before. That is the stuff that wallpaper is supposed to stick to itself, but it doesn't. So I'm finding that's interesting. But at any rate, as I'm going around, there's that tape, butyl tape. I'm so sorry, I couldn't think of the name of it. And then what I'm doing is I'm starting to plug the holes after I put in the baskets. And I'm going to do more down there. You can see I started. And I'll put more silver butyl tape. I'm leaving some of the metal because, see, there's a magnet there with a picture of Jesus on it, like a cutesy Jesus one, a cartoony one. And I want some so I can put like magnets, around and decorate a little bit. There you go. I will finish that hole tomorrow. I'm putting the styrofoam type stuff in there. I'm actually, right now, I'm just using what I got in a container that I bought something, but it's not the kind that falls apart. It's not like the popcorn kind. It's a different, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, so far it's working. I put it in this first hole. It helped. Second hole, okay. And then I've got another hole down there. See how that gap is? I should have put stuff in there when I was building this, but I thought it fell all the way through. It doesn't. There's a ledge in there. It does not fall all the way through. So now we're back to the back. All right, so there she is. She's fine. And when I get in, she's even happier because then she puts her head on me, on my tummy or on my chest. Right now, we're just trying to get comfortable. I know that jacket is a little weird for her. She's not used to it being all the way under her tummy. So, and when I take it off, she's like so happy. She like rolls around like, yay, I got it off, I got it off. Anyway, so there's that. I'm using a comforter for the top and then my Psalm 91 blanket over that. She's got all those blankets up there. There's a dog bed under there, but she doesn't want to be in that dog bed, which is fine. So I just put all her blankets in there, made like a ledge there for her to have her, she just gets treats there. She doesn't eat there. That's her treats. Now I have pajamas over there, pajama bottoms, the fuzzy wuzzy ones, but I don't really find I wear them. If I wear too much, I'm sweating at night, and that's not good. There's a body pillow down there to kind of block the edge too. That's where some draft comes from. So I noticed that. And again, there's Jesus. Anyway, so I'm showing you all that, but then, I don't know if you hear the humming. It's a very quiet one. So what I did is, this is the Parsons desk that I'm using for my kitchen area. I can't back up too much because there's not that much room in it. But I've done the shelves on there. You've seen all this, I think. But see this big black thing that's right here? Can you see a flame inside going? You probably can. So that's the canned heat. So that bottom rectangle where you see the flame coming out of, you buy the canned heat. Now, I'm not talking about the Sterno cans that you use when you heat food. By the way, those stink. This is actually made for camping. You buy it in Walmart where the propane is. Couldn't think of the word at first. So you get a can. 3 of them go in the bottom. I put 2 in there. I don't know if you can kind of see them. I did not put the third one in because I'm a little scared of it, because anything to do with fire scares me. Anyway, I'm scared of fire. So, but I said, let me try it and see what it does. I didn't put it all the way to the front. I didn't put the third one in because I thought, well, let me leave myself a little space, a little room to kind of feel more comfortable. The top here is an actual fan. So there you go. You can kind of see in. So that there's not much of a breeze out here. You can feel it. But as you put your hand closer down here, there is heat coming out from that bottom. Here it's cooler, but not here. It's hot. And you have to use what they give. They give you like a snuffer, which is a metal. Where did I put mine? I'll find it. Not now, maybe, but I'll find it. Yeah, those cans are hard for me to open. But, that's what happens when you're an old lady. Where is it? Good heavens to Betsy. It's around here. I know I just had it like 2 minutes ago, and I'll find it. But it's a stuffer, and it goes underneath there. There's like a ledge right there. I'm not touching this thing by any means. There's a ledge right there. It hooks to the bottom. It's got a little hook on it. And you pull that tray out. And that's how you put the cans in and out. Don't touch it while it's running. Just leave it be. I only tried 2 cans. I'm going to see tomorrow. Maybe it'll be 3. But at least for now, I tried it. And I said, let me get brave and try it. I was so nervous about trying it. Because again, it's flames. Flames. You're in a van. Now, you're not going to drive with it on. Trust me. Do not drive with this stuff on. You suddenly don't want to hear boom, boom, boom and hear, you know, and everything. So, but when you're still, which we are still tonight, I am getting ready for bed. It's taking me 1,000 years to do that. But, I wish I could find that snuffer for you. And I know it's here, because I just had it. But at any rate, you're probably going to get a weird angle now, because I'm looking around going like, well, where is it? Did I put it up there somewhere? And I usually do. I just like tuck it in somewhere, and then I'm like, oh dear, where did I put it? It's up in here somewhere. But anyway, because I just used it. Like, literally just used it to put this together. Ay, ay, ay. If you want to put the flames out, you can use that thing because it has a big round end to snuff out the flames. So you would just hold it over there. I'm not that brave. Those cans last 6 hours. I'm going to let them run their course. Now, don't start with me with carbon monoxide and I'm going to, you know, kaplooey. Because I'm not going to kaplooey. Well, this is a top to the 1 can. Let me throw that out immediately. I don't want to leave anything around that's not supposed to be around. I'm going to be fine because, as Minivan Lee says, it's not airtight. No, it's not, because you can feel the draft. And it's mostly on my legs. So the cold that I'm feeling is coming from the bottom, which is great now for the Bouge RV refrigerator because now it's starting to stay cold again. But, yeah, it's not great for me. So, like I said, I have layers on, right? But this thing here seems to be helping. That's as loud as it gets. Can you hear it? So it's not going to get super loud. That's it. The fan, and there's a fan back here. I can kind of angle this for you to see. There's a fan back here. And that fan starts going when the air is hot, right? Because it's blowing. Here, I'll show you somebody cute. There you go. So it's blowing. And I said heat, you know, heat rises. It gets that fan spinning around. But anyway, that's how that works. Look at her. She's so adorable. Just like a child when they sleep. No barking. Wow, that's cool. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to tell you. So we're going to be fine. I am going to drive myself crazy. Like, what did I do with that metal piece? Oh, you all pray for me. I'm tired. But I did want to show you. Have a lighter that is got the long nose on it. So, like this, you know, the long one. The long one. Okay, there you go. I know you know what it is, but I'm still showing just in case. That's the best to do. I'm going to drive myself nuts trying to find that snuffer. Oh, well. It's going to bother me. I'm going to hang up. Like if I'm talking to you on the phone. Well, I'm talking to you on the phone. But I'm videoing. I will find it. I know I will find it. But, you know, that thing is going to last 6 hours. We're going to be in here longer than 6 hours at a standstill. So what I'm going to do is let it play its course, you know, go right straight through. Keep the van as warm as I can. I'm not going to run it because I am not on a street that I want to keep starting and stopping the van. The idea is you get up to 80 or 90 before you get to your stealth place. Don't go to your stealth place and then start turning it on and off because they're going to be like, well, who's in there? because the van isn't starting itself. And it's not a self-start van. So, most people know that. So you don't want to be like, surprise, hey, it's just automatic. No, it's not. And you don't want somebody coming over by your window going, what are you doing here? And some people I notice are getting kind of weird. I notice like some of the people, the neighbors around my son's house, one family is like, they don't even pay attention to what you're doing. They don't care. And most people over there don't care. However, I have one family that's very curious. And I don't need them up in my business, so be careful. I don't want to stay there every night. I stayed there 2 nights, time to move on. And the longest I'll stay somewhere is 2 nights, move on. And it's not a constant staying there because I leave and go do my business during the day. And so, but it's my son's house, so my grandkids are in there. So I'll come back because of that. Now, if I'm not going over there for any reason or seeing the kids or whatever, then I'm just not gonna forget it. I'm gonna go stealth. Tonight was hard finding a spot. I really had a little bit hard time tonight because I just could not find a street. But then I finally did. Obviously, I'm here. Watch the slants of some of these streets. Like this one kind of leans one way because of the water runoff. Sometimes you'll be like on a hill and it'll be higher on the back and lower in the front, but you don't realize that till you're in there and you've stopped and you've turned everything off and now you're trying to walk through and you feel like you're going to fall. Trust me, I've fallen 3 times. Because I kind of tip over because I don't realize that it's at an angle. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's how I found out. And then I don't fall constantly. It's just, you feel kind of like you need your sea legs, if you will. Because it's just like, what happened? Why am I off kilter? That's why. So anyway. But that's what we're doing. There is the heater. I don't think it's going to warm up the whole thing like immensely, like it's not going to suddenly be 80 degrees. Remember, I only have 2 cans. Now tomorrow night I might get brave and try 3. Point is, I tried. And I wanted to see what it was like, and I thought, let me go slow. First I had 1 can, and I'm like, this isn't going to do a darn thing. So I went ahead and I did the 2. And that was a good thing. So, there we go. Anyway, so that's that. I wanted to let you know because I'm getting questions on, hey, how are you staying warm? Hey, we hear that it's going to get really bad over there. Well, yeah, it is going to get bad over here. Is it going to snow? Doesn't seem like it's going to get cold enough to snow, but then again, just look out how you tell the weather over in Washington State. Look out the window. They'll say, oh, it's going to be sunny and mild, and then it's like, okay, it's pouring rain. Or it's going to rain today, like really all day. It's going to just rain. And it rains for an hour, and then it's like, okay, we're done. And then you're like, oh, man. So, and it's been drizzling here on and off, so. But I notice I'm not as ice cold in here as I was when when the temperature started to go down. And it is staying at 60, a solid 60. So it's not moved down. Usually it'll start moving down towards 50, 45. It gets pretty, chilly. But, no, it's staying at 60. I can deal with 60. I don't like 60. I would prefer 70. But, hey. And depending on the size of your rig, that's going to make a difference with this. It goes about 200 square feet. It'll heat it up. This is over a little over the 200. And that's because I have a medium roof, so it's taller. It's not the extra long version. I mean, it's just taller. And you have to account for stuff like that. But anyway. Hey, if it keeps it at 60, and I can lay down and use my heating blanket, and I'm not freezing, my face isn't frozen, my nose isn't frozen, the dog is sleeping soundly like that, just like she's right now. I'm happy with it. We're going to be fine. So please, people that worry about me, I appreciate it. But don't worry so much. But thank you for caring. Because I have people, trust me, that they don't care. So I do appreciate anybody's concern. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. So again, I'm going to get off of here, and I've already made one video. I got to get up here. I put up a short one from the other day. That was the place where I go to wash. It's called A&E. I always think, wasn't there a television station, A&E? Arts and Entertainment, I think, was supposed to be, that's what it stood for. Anyway, so A&E, Wash and Dry, is where I was the other day. You get to do a shower there. It's like basically a truck stop. You do your laundry and you take your showers. In another building, there's Frankfurter Place to eat. There's a new Mexican restaurant going to open up, I noticed, next door. And then there's a pizza place. So I think they're going to put little restaurants and shops around there because these truckers come through there. It's a safe, quiet, it's not crazy. I mean, it's noisy because of the trucks, but I mean, it's quiet because the people are cool. You know, they're nice. So I put that up there, just put up the last video, and then I put that one up. So it's slightly out of order. I'll do the one that I made tonight, the long one that was over 30 minutes, and then I'll put this one up. This one's about 22 minutes, so. All right, guys. Listen, thanks for listening and watching. I just want to tell you about this canned heat. It can work for any of you. If you're in your house and you lose power and you're cold and you have a small room that you want to kind of hang in, this would be perfect. It'd be perfect. Just, you know, if you have two of them for a bigger room, probably would be better. But, and I'm not getting a lot of smell out of it. I'm not getting a lot of weird smells. So don't use the Sterno cans like you do when they heat your food at those big things. If you ever notice, those stink. They have a weird smell to them. Use the actual canned heat. You can even buy them on Amazon. They come with this. They give you 3 cans that come with this. But you can always buy more of that same variety. And that way, you know what it's like. You're not going to pass out. I mean, always use your head. You know, if you're kind of like, oh, carbon dioxide, should I, what, yeah. You know, there is a draft in your van. That means you have some kind of air flowing through here. So, it's not airtight. But if you do feel weird, open your window a tiny bit. Even if you still leave the Reflectix in the window, just get a little bit of air in there. I'm trying it without doing that. Usually stuff like this doesn't bother me, but I'm not going to make it a habit. And there's nights I'm not going to need it. So I'm giving it a shot tonight. And I did not use 3 cans. I only used 2. So it's a little less as far as fumes, if that, you know, if that's a concern. I will be very careful with it. And if I have any signs at all, you know, where I'm starting to feel weird, we're going to open a window for sure. I'm not playing with anything, with fire and anything. No. So, use your head, guys, for more than a hat rack, as my dad used to say. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here, because otherwise we're going to run long, and I'm going to think of fun things that happened to me. Yeah, my dad said this, and da, da, da. And we had a house that wasn't insulated. We actually did live in a house in Buffalo, New York, that did not have a lot of insulation, if any. Extremely old home, and we had one heater. It's called the Moore heater. It was in the middle of the house, and all the other rooms were colder, or as cold as this van gets. So I grew up with this. So I'm kind of used to being, you know, cold. I don't like the cold, though. So I will eventually go to Arizona in the winter. I will become a snowbird eventually, because I can't handle it. I don't like the cold. I just don't. I have a son that loves being cold. I have another one, he wants to sleep with the window open in the middle of the winter. I'm like, oh, no thank you. Anyway. They didn't get it from me. Anyway. So I'm going to move on here. But thank you all for listening. And love one another as the Lord has loved you. Please help one another. Please. Please get to know Jesus. I keep telling you that all the time, because I love you and I really don't want to see you have any issues, problems, anything. Let's all have a nice big party in heaven with Jesus and eat and never get fat, never know sorrow, never know pain, never know suffering. Hey, let's just make it, okay? So I want us to be on Team Jesus because I want us to make it up to heaven. All right, I'm going to get off of here and love you all so much. So, you know my 2 words, aloha and shalom. Bye for now.